I thought to myself in that time, I'm too darn lazy to learn Braille. But you know what? What a blessing. Because I know God, after I stopped feeling sorry for myself on, oh my gosh, I could go blind or not. I truly came to a place that is the greatest blessing. Lord, if you need my eyes, they're yours. They were yours the whole time anyway. Thank you for letting me see as long as I have. That's a blessing. The curse is if you really truly have changed your heart, if you really truly have accepted Jesus, if you have really accepted the atonement. The curse is you can never, ever repay it. Ever. If he asks for your eyes, are you kidding me? That's the smallest. George Whitefield. He would give sermons. And he would stand out in the field. And I read about times that he would stand under a tree to give a sermon. One time, a guy climbed up into the tree while he was giving the sermon so he could urinate on George Whitefield. And George Whitefield didn't stop. They threw rocks at his head. They released bulls.
Things SEIU would do now.
They did everything.
And its members.
He didn't stop. He didn't pick up a gun. He didn't cuss anybody out. He didn't ramp up anger. I don't know how these people, and there's story after story after story after story. I tell you, my favorite hymn, and oh, we'll have this tale to tell. All is well. All is well. For people to be able to just do what they needed to do. That is exactly what we're supposed to do now. I don't know what your calling in life is. I don't know why you were born. But I know each and every one of us was born at this time for a reason. Each and every one of us raised our hand. We were born here for a reason. We must get down on our knees and make things right with the Lord. As a nation, we are going to go through a storm. And we must get down on our knees and not say, Lord, help us, unless we have first said, Lord, forgive us. Forgive us for being so arrogant. Forgive us. It has been fun. if I lose everything I own? It has been fun. It has been great. When I was 20-something, I made a lot of money. I bought a Mercedes, and that Mercedes was me. It was me. It really was me. I identified with that car. I was going to say you should ask Pat sometime because he knows he lived through that period, but I don't want Pat repeating those stories. I was an arrogant, just not a good dude. And that car, I actually was so pathetic, I wept the day that car, I know that I didn't weep as much then as I do now. I wept. 5 years ago, my wife bought me a really nice car for my birthday. Went 205 miles an hour. 205 miles an hour. Never got it over 70. That car scared me to death. You'd step on the gas and it'd be like, that's the best you can do? It's a demon car. I will tell you this. I loved it. I loved it. I sold it. As we were moving up to New York, so we, for some reason, thought we had to be up in New York. Whoa. That's the curse part, Lord. Had to move up to New York. I didn't want that car sitting in New York, pay for it, what a waste of money and everything else. And I was really worried about how I would feel when I saw that car driven away. And I stood on my back porch. They loaded it up on the back of a tractor trailer. And I sat there and I watched it, and my wife was right next to me. And I saw it drive down the street, and I smiled. My wife looked and she said, "How you doing?" And I said, "Good, really good. That was fun. That was fun." No matter how bad our life is in America or how tough it may become, this has been fun. Each one of us are so blessed to have lived at a time. Think of the history of man. Think of how people lived before America. You want to go crap outside in a box or a hole or something? Not me. I don't. I would have never made it at those times. I would have been like, I think I'm just going to let my intestines explode. I don't know how they did it. Hey, not feeling well. Have a leech. I had a CAT scan recently. Good news, they didn't find a single cat. And I did that joke for Stu. He hates that joke. He's like, "Oh, geez, you're down to the CAT scan joke." I was in a CAT scan. And you know how they, you're kind of you're moved into it. Yeah. I actually, at one point, just put my hands up on that. And then I heard, "Please don't move." I'm like, hang on just a second. I just put my hand in admiration. I put my hands on it and I said, "Lord, thank you for letting me see this technology. A fraction of the planet today even gets that technology. We live in blessed times. We must now choose to be leaders." Why does everybody want to find another George Washington? Because he led, but he didn't want to. Well, who does? Who does? That was rhetorical. Please don't start shouting names out of people who do. I know.